Good morning.
Hello, it's Orna here again from ornaonline.com. Hello, and I'm so sorry. It's been such a little while since I last posted my videos or my commentaries or anything like this, and I said that I would be concentrating this week on what lessons I had learned from my very first triathlon, which took place this day last week, the 16th of August, the 16th of August, which was last Saturday, and I haven't had a chance to record many videos this week, and I'm so sorry about that. I've been just up to my eyes between my training and my schoolwork and my life and my kids and my family and everything else that goes along with it, so I am catching up today. So, first video that I've recorded in a few days, and I promised you guys last week that I would talk to you about the most important lesson that I learned from my triathlon of last Saturday, which was a massive success because I finished it, while at the same time being a kind of failure because I had a wardrobe malfunction, which meant that I finished paddy last. But that's okay, because I'd rather be bringing up the rear than not there at all. So what happened last week was I was literally 5 meters, probably 5 to 10 meters downstream, and my wetsuit opened up on me at the back, and water flooded into it and weighed me down and caused me to not panic, but have a little bit of a setback and have to change my stroke, and the swim took me longer than was supposed to, which had a knock-on effect on the cycle, which then had a knock-on effect on the run. But that's okay, because these things happen. Indeed, the marshal who was actually bringing me around, he was in his kayak and I was in the river, the Blackwater River, and he was telling me that he fell behind on his very first triathlon, and these things happen to everybody at some point. So no disheartenment here, no way am I giving up on my goal whatsoever, but definitely some lessons have been learned. And one of the most important lessons that I have learned, obviously, is that make sure your wetsuit fits you, but not only fits you, but it gives you a little bit of room to wear additional layers underneath it, because obviously coming out of a triathlon it's different to coming out of the sea. So when I swim in my wetsuit down on the local beach, I have no problem getting out of the beach or out of the sea, and I'm in my swimsuit and just stripping off out of my wetsuit. Absolutely no problems whatsoever, because I'm going from the sea to literally to the land, and I'm going to be getting out of my wetsuit and drying off and going and getting on with the rest of my day, kind of thing. However, when you're doing a triathlon and you're getting out of the sea and going to do a bike and a run, there's obviously more important things to be thinking about than just your swimsuit. So on my triathlon, I had to prepare for the next event, for the following 2 events. And what happened was I had my sports bra on, and on top of that I also had a cotton t-shirt. Probably a bad choice in the cotton t-shirt, because when the wetsuit opened up, not only did the wetsuit flood obviously, but the cotton t-shirt absorbed every drop of water that it possibly could. However, it was what I chose to do it in. It was as circumstances dictated at the time, and it was an eye-opener. So, wetsuits. I didn't realize that you could rent wetsuits. Now, granted, I didn't go looking for a wetsuit because I had one anyway, and was sure that the one that I had could do me. But apparently you can go and rent wetsuits. Who knew? Now you do. And you can go and rent wetsuits for whatever the occasion, which is pretty awesome, because if you're doing a triathlon and it's your first time and you don't know whether you want to continue on with them, then you don't want to be going out and buying wetsuits and buying loads of specialist equipment that you might never use again. So being able to rent wetsuits is a great idea. But as I said, I didn't know about it, didn't need to know about it, so I didn't go and do it. and the results speak for themselves. However, I am still absolutely delighted because I finished my first triathlon. And I like to say to myself that if I can do something once, then I know I can do it twice, 3 times, a million times. You just have to keep going at it. As long as you know you can do it once, you know you can do it a million times, like I've just said. So I'm quite happy the fact that I finished my triathlon, have learned a major lesson from the one single event that I did, the one single triathlon event that I did, not the one single part of the triathlon, because I didn't just do one single part of the triathlon, I did the whole thing, and I'm super, super proud of myself. And my kids this week are all talking to me about it. Oh, Mom, do you remember when you did this? Do you remember when we went to your triathlon? Do you remember when, you know, and that's a really great feeling, and a really, really, really proud that I can give them that memory. So that, at least in and of itself, is a great standalone achievement. Anyway, biggest lesson from this week, or from the triathlon of last week: definitely rent wetsuits. If you're not certain about doing it, if it's your first time and you're unsure about things, look up in your local vicinity renting wetsuits. That's it from me for today. Remember, I can do anything, you can do anything, we can do anything. We just got to put our minds to it. Take care until next time.
This has been an online production.